Hello guys, this is Yara here. Today I'm going to be showcasing an Orcust deck profile. Every single ban list I try to make an Orcust deck profile that will compete with the meta because I love Orcust as a whole, as a deck. So this is the best deck profile that I could have come up with. And after the card by card rundown and the deck profile, I'm going to be showcasing some gameplay of this exact same deck profile on Reddit. So you might want to stick around throughout the whole video, and I'm going to explain my card choices as well. But as always guys, yeah, so we should just get started. So I'm playing Ash Blossom. I'm actually running 9 going second cards because I believe that every single deck should have some sort of going second cards, and I'm playing 9, which is pretty good. You have a high likelihood of seeing a going second card when you lose the die roll. So we opted to go with Ash because that hits every single deck in the meta, so it will always be live in your hand. So then we're playing the Celestial and Dasher, so that just goes to tell you that we're playing Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. I mean, that's one of the best cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment, so we have to be playing the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. We're playing 3 Gear Suit because it's the best starter for Orcust. And I'm not running Armageddon Knight or Dark Refer because the cool thing about Gear Suit is that you can even activate his effect under the Brave restrictions. The Brave restriction says that you cannot activate normal summon effects monsters, but the cool thing about Gear Suit is that you can activate it even if it gets special summon, if this card is normal or special summon. So if you have something like a Brass Bombard in grave, you banish it, special summon on Gear Suit from your hand, and then you can activate effect, or you can summon it with something like a Skeleton or a World Wand. So that's the cool thing about Gear Suit. So they were playing 2 Brass Bombard. I like Brass Bombard a lot. Like I said, you can special summon a Gear Suit from your hand. You can up the count of this to 3, but I try to keep it at 40 for maximum consistency. So we're playing 2 Brass Bombard. I'm playing 2 Skeletons because the second one comes up a lot, especially on an Orcust deck that is running a lot of Orcust. We want to have 2. A lot of people like to run 1, but the second one almost always comes up. So we're playing 3 Orcust Nightmares. I'm decided to go with 3 because opening this plus any of your Brave stuff means that you can just combo off from there, because you discard this with your Faithful, and then you can just basically combo off from there. So that's why we decided to go 3. So opening this plus either an Enchantress or a Rite or a Fate, it's combo. So that's why we want to open this plus some of the Brave stuff. We're opening the 1 Griffin because we're playing the Brave stuff. 3 Temple because it's a 3. We're maxing out on this until it gets hit. Playing 1 World Wand because it's necessary if you play an Orcust, because you should want to recycle this with Galatea. So if this is like banished, you might want to recycle it because we're only running 1. So yeah, we're playing the 1 Draco back, mandatory. We're playing the 2 Faithful. So this is, I started off with 1 because that's like the norm, playing 1 Faithful. But after a lot of testing with this, I played more than like 10 or 20 games with this deck profile. After a lot of testing, I decided that 2 is better because opening this means that you can bait out something like a Ghost Ogre. So if you open this plus like a Brass Bombard, you can activate this, normal summon a Brass Bombard, try to search for the equip. If it gets Ghost Ogre, it gets destroyed. But if you have something like a Temple or a Rite in hand, it means that you can activate the second one from deck and activate the second effect to search and discard, which is the more necessary effect on this deck, so you can discard your Orcust stuff. So the second one comes up a lot, so I might even consider running a 3rd one, honestly, but that's up to you. I think 2 is just the sweet spot. Playing 1 Foolish Burial to send Temple or Nightmare or you know, Skeleton, whatever you need. 3 Droplet, great at going second. Not just that, but we can discard whatever we need in grave, like a Temple, Skeleton, or a Nightmare. So playing 2 Fusion Destiny because we have to. We're running the Fusion Destiny stuff. 1 Babel. This is so good. It means that you can play on both players' turns. This was the original. I'm playing on both players' turn deck. Now it's Flunderies, but this was like the original one. So we're playing 3 Orchestrated Return because we like drawing cards. Opening this plus any of your Orcust stuff means that you can get a Pot of Greed. And then if you discard Orcust Nightmare, that's full combo, full Orcust combo right there. So we're playing 3 Rite because it's a 3. We're playing 3 Infinite Impermanence because, like I said, we're playing 9 going second cards. So, and then the 1 Crescendo when we get to go first. And even discarding it is pretty good. It means that you can search something like a Girsu, you can banish it and search something like a Girsu. So we're playing 40 cards on the main deck because we like our consistency. We're running 9 going second cards, and we have a pretty strong engine right here. For the side deck, I'm running 3 Phantasme, almost every deck with the exception of Flundery's Link Summons, 3 Nibiru, pretty good, 3 Cosmic Cyclone to snipe out the Pandemonium or the trap card that Flunder resets, 2 Lightning Storm Greater going second, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, one of the best cards are going first at the moment, and 1 Red Reboot to round up the side deck. So, and now we're gonna go to the extra deck. The extra deck, I'm gonna explain a couple of choices that you may not understand, like if you haven't played Orcust before. So, we're playing 1 Destroy Phoenix, 1 Destroy Hero Phoenix Enforcer because, yeah, this is one of the MVPs of the deck. He's dark, so it means even if you get after you get dark locked from any of your Orcust stuff, you can still summon him. So that's pretty good. We're playing 2 Dingirsu. The second one comes up a lot. You can this was cool because this one can protect your whole field, or you can send something. So or you can attach something. So this I remember this card used to be very annoying to face when I used to face Orcust all the time, but it still does the job pretty well. So 1 Access Code Talker for the OTKs, 1 Barricade Boardwalker. This was pretty good because you can use something like a Brass Bombard and a token. Make this, it discards its cost, so you discard something like a Orcust Nightmare or whatever you need, engrave, and then you can just full Orcust combo from there. This can get you whatever you need out of hand and into the graveyard, so because it discards its cost, so even if they negate it, it still hits the graveyard. So playing 1 Boral Sword for the OTKs. We're playing 3 Galatea. The third one comes up a lot, especially after you test this deck a lot. I tried running 2 because I wanted more room for other things, but 3 is just the sweet spot. 1 IP Masquerina. This is cool because it means that if you have Babel set up, you have multiple interruptions. Like if you have IP Masquerina and Skeleton and then Girsu in graveyard, it means that during the opponent's turn, you can banish symbol, special summon out the Ding from your graveyard, send one of their cards, non-targeting. Then you have a unicorn setup because IP Masquerina plus Dingirsu equals unicorn. So pretty cool setup that you can have there. 1 Lick Spider. This is to go into the Verti Anaconda or into our Galatea, because Galatea and Verti Anaconda, they both need effect monsters. So we need this to turn the token, either a Nibiru token or a Brave token, into this, so then we can link from there. We're playing 1 Link Karibo. This was pretty good. You can normal summon a Brass Bombard, go into Link Karibo, Brass Bombard effect engrave, banish the special summon something like a Nightmare from hand, and then you can make Galatea from there. So we have the 1 Long Girsu. This was pretty cool because it also sends, so it's similar to something like a Dingirsu, and it can recycle your machines that are banished. And then the 1 Verti Anaconda. And you might be wondering that we're running a lot of darks. Yeah, basically all of our extra deck, with the exception of Link Spider, is dark. It's because we get dark locked with all of our Orcust stuff. Dark locks us, so just keep that in mind. So little things that you want to keep in mind. So yeah, now we're gonna go to the gameplay section. So you're gonna see me play with this exact same deck list on Rated. Okay, so let's go. Alright then guys, so welcome to the gameplay section. So yeah, you're gonna see me play with this exact same deck list. So we're gonna do the paper, scissors, rock. So I win the paper, scissors, rock, and this is a pretty intense duel. You'll be able to see why. So I start off with Crescendo, Temple, Roll 1, Right, and Skeleton. So a decent hand going first, a decent hand. And then my opponent starts out with Blackout, Ecclesia, Nibiru, Ashana, and Nibiru. So let's see, I say main phase 1, I'm gonna start off with Right to summon out token. I summon out the token, activate Faithful from deck. I'm gonna go ahead and special summon out the Temple since I control the token. I'm gonna activate the Faithful effect, trying to bait something like a Ghost Ogre, but since they don't have it, I'm gonna go ahead and search the Draco back. I'm gonna go ahead and activate the second effect to search for the Griffin Rider. Discard the Roll 1. I'm gonna activate the Griffin Rider, special summon itself out. Normal summon out the Skeleton. Now I'm gonna go into the Galatea. I'm gonna activate Temple effect to search a Right from my deck. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the token into a link spider. I'm gonna go ahead and use both of those for a Verti Anaconda. I'm doing this so that even if I get nibbed, then I can still play after I get nibbed. So right now I'm baiting out something like a nib. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to activate Verti Anaconda effect. My opponent is gonna say, hold on a second, I have something in response. So he's gonna go ahead and activate a Nibiru from there. So he probably thinks that I'm stopped, but no, I'm gonna be able to keep combo off from here, comboing on from here. So I'm gonna activate Skeleton in graveyard, banish it out, special summon out Galatea, activate roll 1, special summon out the Skeleton. Now I'm gonna activate Galatea effect to shuffle back my world 1 and activate a Babel from deck. I'm gonna activate Babel. Now I'm gonna go ahead and special summon out Dingirsu. So I decided, do I bounce it back with the Draco back? But I didn't want him to have another. I didn't want him to have Nibiru in hand. But surprise, he already had another Nibiru. It didn't matter, right? If you're a good player, you draw a double Nibiru, right? But that's good that I didn't bounce it back then. So I was like, I'd rather send it instead. I don't want him to keep it in hand, so I can OTK him turn 3. So I activate effect to send. I'm gonna go ahead and send it. I'm gonna link both of those off for another copy of Galatea. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the Crescendo. So right now I have 2 interruptions. I have a Crescendo, which is an Omni Negate, and I have a Dingirsu, a send. So this is pretty solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and he's gonna go ahead and start out with Ashana. So I let that go through, and right here I'm like, I don't want him to link summon into Monk. Then he's gonna be able to activate the Ashana effect to summon out something like a Bishuda. So I don't want him to get to that point. So as I think, I'm gonna activate Skeleton, summon out the Ding effect to send the Ashana. It's gonna go ahead and activate it. Special summon out Ecclesia. It doesn't activate, so it's gonna go ahead and special summon out Ecclesia since I control more monsters. He has all the extenders. So it's gonna go ahead and activate the Ecclesia effect to tribute itself as cost. Summon out Moi. Moi, reveal the Blackout. And then I'm gonna go ahead and chain the Crescendo so I can go ahead and banish that. So he's gonna go ahead and go into battle phase, run over the token because he does not want me. He knows I have Draco back in hand, so he doesn't want me to bounce something back. So he's gonna go ahead and set the Blackout, and during the end phase I'm gonna activate Galatea effect because this also makes your link monsters quick effects or of your monsters you control with Orcust in their original name. So gonna go ahead and put back Skeleton. I'm gonna go ahead and set the return. Maybe it's 1. I was pretty sure this was a Blackout right here, so I was like, I had to do this because otherwise he would have quick effect tributed Ecclesia, normal summon out any of the Sword Soul monsters, either Moi, Tai, and then he would have been able to pop 2 of my cards with the Blackout. So I'm like, I'd rather do this so he can't really do anything about the sending. So yeah, so now he's gonna be forced to eat that. So I'm gonna go ahead and send the back row, and now he has no interruptions left. I'm gonna go ahead and activate right, summon that in attack mode, activate Fateful effect to search and discard. I'm gonna go ahead and discard the Draco back, equip Draco back. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bounce back the Ecclesia and special summon out the Temple since I control the token, and this should be game over. So now we're gonna go to game number 2. I'm gonna go pretty fast here. So I'll start off with Babel, Ash Blossom, Crescendo, Ash Blossom, and Temple. My opponent starts off with Adara, Heavenly Dragon Circle, Emergence, Forbidden Chalice, and Death Ball 001. Starts off with the Emergence. I'm gonna go ahead and Ash Blossom. That's since you can't really Ash Blossom many things in the Sword Soul deck, but this is one of the few things that you can Ash Blossom, so I'm just gonna Ash Blossom. Special with Adara, activate Heavenly Dragon Circle to search Tai. No summon out Tai, banish out the Emergence as cost. It's gonna summon out the token. It's gonna go ahead and he's gonna go ahead and make the Shishao. So he's gonna go ahead and send the Ashana and search another copy of Emergence. He wants follow up. There's a hard once per turn, so you can't activate that this turn. So right here, I made one mistake, and I'm gonna show you guys where, because I'm gonna go ahead and activate Faithful. Now I'm gonna activate Faithful effect to search the Griffin Rider. Discard Crescendo. I'm gonna activate Temple to search a copy of Right. So I was playing around the Blackout. So in my perspective, he had Blackout and Grandmaster, so he had 2 interruptions. So I was playing around the Blackout. So I'm gonna activate Right, chaining 1, chaining 2 Griffin Rider, so that way I have a negate set up if he chooses to flip over the Blackout. Summon out the Griffin Rider, summon out this. So now I'm gonna activate Faithful effect to search the equip. I'm gonna go ahead and equip it to my token. So right here is where I made the mistake. I chose to bounce back the back row, which I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. It should have been like a very simple thing, just bounce back the Grandmaster, and the Blackout would have been dead, and the Grandmaster would have been dead. But this would have been an easy game for me if I would have done it the other way around. But he activates Chalice, targeting my Griffin Rider, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I just scooped it up because I made that little mistake that cost me the game. But yeah, that was my bad. But now we're gonna go to game number 3. I start off with Return, Orcust Nightmare, Crescendo, Griffin Rider, and Bombard. And the opponent starts out with Ash Blossom, Lightning Storm, Ecclesia, Blackout, and Ecclesia. So he has 2 going second cards, 3 going second cards, because Ecclesia counts as a going second card. So yeah, I'll start out with my Return. He's gonna go ahead and Ash Blossom that, but it doesn't matter. I already have the Nightmare in the graveyard, which is kind of what I wanted. I'm gonna activate the Griffin Rider since I don't control any monsters to special summon that out. I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon out Brass Bombard, activate Nightmare effect, targeting my Griffin Rider, activate World Wand, special summon out the Nightmare from the Banish Pile. Now I'm gonna go into the Galatea effect to return my World Wand and set the Babel since I already have Crescendo. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Ngirsu. I'm gonna go into the Verte Anaconda. I'm doing this so that I can have either the option to go into Dingirsu or Galatea the next turn. So I'm gonna go into Verte Anaconda. So even if I get nibbed on Verte Anaconda summon, it doesn't matter because I already have Dingirsu and Galatea set up for the following turn. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pitch out the bricks, go into Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, set the Blackout. set the Crescendo. And he draws into the Merge Teleport. Now during draw phase, I'm gonna go ahead and activate the Nightmare effect, targeting my Verte Anaconda, sending the symbol effect, special not the Galatea from graveyard. Yep, Galatea effect to put back the Nightmare. I'm gonna go ahead and set the Return. He's gonna activate Lightning Storm, targeting my back row, so I'm gonna go ahead and Crescendo that since I don't want my Babel or my Return to go to graveyard. He's gonna go ahead and special summon out the Ecclesia. He's gonna activate the effect to special summon out Moi effect to reveal Blackout. And okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead. Right here is what I thought about. I thought about this pretty well. So I'm like, the only thing that I get punished by this token, if I pop this and he has something like a Long Yawn or something like that, then he's gonna be able to combo off. He's gonna be able to use the Moi and the Long Yawn token to go into the Grandmaster. He's gonna be able to pop off from there. So that's why I wanted to get the Moi off the field, so he didn't get that +1. It ended up paying off. You'll see why. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the Moi and the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. He sets the Blackout. You might be wondering, but Yara, why didn't he go into Halki Fibrax? Well, the cool thing about all the Sword Soul tokens is that they lock you into synchro monsters. It says right here that while that token is on the monster zone, the player who summoned it cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro monsters. So even if he E-Tellied into Ghost Ogre, he cannot go into Halki Fibrax because he's locked into synchro monsters only. So that was another reason why I wanted to pop the Moe. So draw phase, standby phase. So he's saying standby phase. He's thinking if he wants to flip over the blackout. He decides to flip over the blackout. He's gonna go ahead and pop my Galatea and my return. He doesn't want me to draw any cards, but it doesn't matter since I hard drew the Girsu and my opponent just scoops it up. Since he knows I have full combo from there, I would have just made Boral Sword. I just needed another body in field. Made Boral Sword plus Destroy Phoenix Enforcer equals GG. So yeah, that was the match that I had with that deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Konami, please unban Hardcore. That would be amazing. You would make me a very happy person. But as always, guys, this was Yara here, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.